Okay, let's start with this. Lincoln Riley, I suggested this week. Dallas Cowboy job's different. Jerry Jones has hired Jimmy Johnson out of college and Barry Switzer and won Super Bowls. That's a big job, okay? Do you think Lincoln Riley, even with as great as Oklahoma is, that's a great job, would he consider leaving for the Cowboys?
Pure speculation because he's not. I know him, but I don't know him like that. But that's the one. That's the New York Yankees. That's the Dallas Cowboys. That's the one. Great city. You got Dak Prescott. You got Zeke Elliott. You got loaded team. And I can't speak for him. Obviously, I hate to even speculate because I don't know him. That's really not fair. But to me, that's the one job in professional football. You kind of say, I got to go do that.
Had you been called by the Cowboys?
I have not.
But if you would have been, you'd just spent a couple days with it.
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That one, yes.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's go to this. This is also a situation that you didn't deal with this a lot because you were a turnaround specialist, but boosters turn on you quick. You can lose one game, and the guy that you think loves you, the big rich guy in the room, is a little icy at the cocktail party. Harbaugh is, I think they're getting a little restless. Boosters, gyms can be a little bit of work here. How do you not let that get into your head as a coach if you've underachieved a little? Because I think I'm starting to read stuff now. Even some of the Michigan diehards are over it. How do you make sure that's not a distraction for you personally?
Well, once again, putting yourself in his mindset, I think coaches during the season, you have zero time to even think about that. You're dealing with injuries. Who's going to leave for the NFL draft, recruiting. You don't have time after the season. And, if it does get nasty, which I don't think it's nasty right now, but you lose at Penn State, you lose again to Ohio State, and I think you can't ignore it then. And once again, I very gratefully have not been in that scenario, but I don't know how. Like right now, zero conversation. However, you get a couple, because right now they've only lost one game. Yeah. They're knee deep. They control their own destiny. You go win at Penn State, that solves everything. So I don't think at now, but you lose this one and then you lose that one at the end of November.
Those can be ugly off seasons.
Ugly, and but once again, that's speculation. But the Wolverine alumni, that's a proud place, and you can't. That'd be 5 in a row to Ohio State. You lose to Penn State, that's a problem.
Yeah, I think Clemson's the best team in the country. I think they're bored. I think USC, Pete Carroll dealt with this. USC was so much better than the Pac-12. Pac-10 at the time, that Pete wins a title, brings back Leinart Bush, and that coaching staff and Pete are like, I don't know if you get motivated. We're a 27-point favorite over Oregon State. I think Clemson's really good. I think apathy is setting in. I've watched them at times, and I'm like, boy, they are not focused and they are not tight.
You'll love this, that after so we won it in 06. We did not have a returning team coming back, so that's a different story. 08, we won it. We had Tebow, everybody back. And nothing was ever good enough. We won every game during the season, and every game, why'd you only win by 2 scores? It was very hard to coach that team.
Really?
A lot of the team already had their eyes set on the NFL. Great kids, but once again, hard to coach. We won it in 14, had a bunch of them back in 15. That was the Cardell and JT year, and
hard.
Zeke and Thomas. Very hard. And so I met with Joe Madden one time, and this was after they won the World Series.
Cubs manager.
And we sat about, and he actually had it written down, all the teams that have failed to repeat because the world changes. You change as a coach, your players change, the hunger might change. And once again, it's speculation what's going on at Clemson. They have a great team, great staff, but they don't look great. But that does not mean they're not still a great team.
I remember when you were at Florida and Billy Donovan won a championship.
Right.
They brought the whole team back, all NBA guys. They sleepwalked until the tournament. They were, it was like they had 4 NBA guys.
Joe Kim Noah one time at a game, they barely won, and I was in the locker room, and Billy jumped their tail about something. And Noah looked at me and goes, it used to be fun winning around here. And I remember me and Billy talking about that, saying, how do you keep, because it gets on the coach too. You have this premium placed on excellence. You don't play, and you should beat the mess out of this team, and you don't. You got to let the players enjoy it. And I tried to do that in 15. Let them enjoy a win, then fix the problems after they enjoy a win.
Who's the best team in college football?
I think LSU, and here's why. When I hear the committee say they don't look well, first of all, who's making that decision? Who has the right? Certainly you're a fan, but who's got the expertise to say what looks good, what doesn't look good? I hear some of these people say, well, they don't look good. I'm like, how do you know that? They're not playing great. There's a lot going into a team.
Florida's pretty good. Florida's pretty good football team.
And LSU made the decision to go to Texas and play, and they won. LSU made the decision to play Florida. I mean, it's part of their game. And they beat 2 top 10 teams. They look great doing it. I say LSU right now, and then I think Alabama and Ohio State have the best rosters. I think they're a little bit better than LSU, but LSU's earned that right with 2 top 10 wins.
By the way, the 3 northern teams, and I think they're all legit. I think this Notre Dame team proved it at Georgia. It's a real football team. This is the best Wisconsin team, quarterback aside. Coach, I think this Wisconsin team's the best defense.
I like their quarterback.
You like their quarterback?
Yeah, we actually did a little piece on him the other day, and something tells me, and I don't know him, and obviously never coached against him, but they had a good player that left, Hornibrook. Remember he left, and I liked him. So this kid must be that much better, and he's been challenged a little bit. I like the way he gets the ball out on time. I love the Cephas, that receiver they have.
By the way, Jonathan Taylor is Zeke-like, maybe not Zeke. Coach, he is a track guy.
He's a real deal.
And by the way, I don't know Jim Leonard. He played in the NFL. He was a great Badger. That's the best Badger defense I've ever seen.
Well, we're going to find out in 2 weeks or a week from now. It's going to be game on.
Wow, that'll be incredible. So, it's funny I'm watching the NFL in college, and you're really through and through. You're a college guy. And I watch the NFL. It used to be, I always thought the college job's a better life. Then they added a second recruiting period, and then they added the transfer portal. And this is why I bring up the Lincoln Riley situation. I don't know if it is. I mean, you recruit a quarterback. If the dad's upset his son's not playing, you're on the phone with a family. And by the way, I support kids transferring, but some are transferring 2 and 3 times. That's what makes me believe. I think if Nick Saban was 50, he'd go to the NFL. I think he's closer to 65. Is college football for the Harbaughs, who, by the way, at the end of this year, he may make a decision. He succeeded in pro football. Is college football got a little bit of a coaching crisis where the joy has been sapped out of a little bit of the college coaching experience?
A little bit, because the recruiting rules changed, and you mentioned the early signing period. All that's done is sped up everything. When we first got into coaching, you had, after the season's over, you went recruited your tail off. In the month of December and January, you had signing date and you moved on. Now it's a 365. And even more so than this early sign-in date is this early visitation period. So every weekend, a lot of times in April, May, and June, you're allowed to bring kids on official visits. And that's usually a time when a coach has young children and they want to go watch them play baseball, softball. And someone says, well, don't those people are people too now, the coaches. So you're exactly right. The lifestyle is much different. That got to me quite a bit.
It did?
You reach a point like, I remember another weekend, another weekend. And it's 24/7 because everybody's making decisions now early. You're on the phone nonstop with sophomores. Think about what I just said. You're talking to 16-year-olds that are getting ready to make decisions for the rest of their life that basically aren't ready to make that decision yet. Everybody's pushing them to.
By the way, watching Ohio State and not coaching them, is it hard? Because they're really good. I didn't think they'd be this good. They're really good. What's the experience like for you? 45 seconds left.
Well, I love Ryan Day, obviously, and our coaching staff. Everything's still in place. The infrastructure, people don't give that enough value. The strength coach, the nutritionist, the recruiting, those people are all still there. No, it's not hard. I mean, that was my dream to hand it off to someone to even make it better, and I think he is. And I think that's one of the, if not the most talented team in America, it's them or Alabama.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.